folks, we're going to open up this press conference right away with questions. Front row, middle. Dave?
Hi, Ryan. How quickly do you want to fill the void that Jeff Hafley has left? Is there a rush to do it, or do you kind of want to take your time, or just does it depend on what candidate you're looking at?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I obviously want to do it as quickly as we can, but, you know, we're going to get the best in America because it's Ohio State, so we want to make sure we make the right decision, and you know, for a lot of reasons, but you know, we're going to get the best coach in America to go coach that position, and that's what's great about Ohio State. So, you know, we're going to move quickly, but we want to be smart as well.
Just for clarity, a lot of fans have asked about the 2-year agreement that Urban used to ask his coaches for. That was nothing that was in a contract, though. That was just a gentleman's agreement. There was nothing that was written into a contract, correct?
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Third row left. Dan?
Ryan, how important is it to have guys like Greg Madison and Matt Barnes, who have been a co-defensive coordinator, have been in the defensive back rooms, to kind of help you through that transition when Jeff Hafley leaves?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. Those guys have been around. Obviously, Larry Johnson's been around. You know, Greg and you know, Al Washington. All those guys are you know, huge for us. And so, I mean, it's been a group effort, and he's certainly going to miss Jeff and wish him nothing but the best of luck. He's going to do a great job at Boston College, but we got a great staff there. We're going to go find somebody else to fill it in, and we're going to be fine.
When you built your coaching staff, did you do that by design to have 2 co-defensive coordinators, to have 2 defensive backs coach, so if somebody did decide to leave, you're not starting from scratch?
That's exactly it. That's why you do it that way. You know, when you bring in one guy to run the whole thing, and then all of a sudden he leaves, that's a problem. But you know, the idea of this defense was something that I had a vision of. 4 down front with, you know, cover 1, cover 3, a lot of single high, and that's what Jeff fit perfectly. That's what Greg and Larry believed in. That's what Matt Barnes had done at Maryland, and what you know, Al had done in his past. So it all fit, and so we're going to keep that going. That's the idea. We're not all of a sudden going to change. You know, Jeff came in to run this defense, and he did a great job. But we're just going to, you know, fill that in, and we're going to continue to do the same thing that we're doing on defense in the future.
Far left. Lori?
Coach, I know it's a business trip. Players always talk about bowl trips being business trips, but you've got Christmas coming up. You want this to be something that they can both celebrate today and remember tomorrow. How do you balance them focusing on the task at hand and getting the most enjoyment out of this as possible?
Yeah, we try to do the best we can to make it a trip that they can enjoy. It's a reward, but this one's a little different because we still have a lot on the line here, and you know, so it goes back on the seniors, and we're going to talk about that today in our team meeting. And you know, we still have a lot of work to do here on campus before we get out there, but this is a little different. You know, their curfews are going to be a little earlier, and you know, we shouldn't really have to enforce those if we have the team that we want. And you know, while they have to enjoy it, and they will enjoy it, that doesn't mean that you know, we don't understand what's at stake. And I think our guys will do a great job of that.
Who are the connections you rely on when you look to replace Hafley? Like, who are the guys whose opinions on defensive football that you respect enough that you're going to tap them and say, what do I need to replace this guy?
Oh, you always have a list. You always have people that you have ready, because you know that in this world, you go to a place like Ohio State, you do well, things like this are going to happen, and you can either go hire somebody that's going to be here for 7 or 8 years, or you can go hire the best in the country. And we're going to go hire the best in the country, because that's what I look those guys in the eye and tell them. You know, I told the DBs last year, at this time I'm going to go get the best guy in the country. They didn't know who Jeff Hafley was, and now they love him. You know, they're going to miss him. But I'm going to do the same thing again next year and go get the best there is. And you know, you call around to different people that you know you respect, but usually the people that you bring in are people that you know really well and you trust.
Second row left. Bill?
Ryan, we've asked you, I think a couple times this year about sort of how analytics factor into the way you guys game plan and philosophy. I'm wondering along those lines, how much you look at scoring at the very end of the first half and the very beginning of the second half, because it seems like you guys have been very good at that this year, and it seems like something that, you know, when people do pay attention to analytics, that's important to them and can swing games.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at it, that is a very important part of the game, that area right there. And you know, if you win those areas, you typically give yourself a chance to win the game. But you know, we don't get too pigeonholed on exactly like us trying to like game plan those times of the game. But certainly there's, you know, when you're talking to the guys, you know, you say, hey, listen, this is a big point of the game. We have to really be on point right here. You just kind of talk about those things. And I think the more the guys play the game this year, and the more experience they have, they understand those critical times in the game where you have to be on your game. And like you're saying, those are important. But to say you game plan or do anything different in those moments, that's probably not accurate.
Have you felt like you have been fairly successful in those moments? Like maybe aside from the late touchdown Wisconsin scored, it seems like you guys are pretty good there.
Yeah, no, I think we have been pretty good in those areas, and you know, it's important. You know, we look at some of the great teams. You know, look at the years under Belichick with Patriot. Those guys were unbelievable in those spots right there. And so, yeah, I mean, you try to do the best you can to get a feel for those games when it's right. And there's also been times where, you know, at the end of the first half, we've taken a knee just because we had to get ourselves under control. And I think it was the Penn State game. Remember, we were like midfield, and then it was like, let's just get back into halftime. So some of it's a feel too, you know, and it has to go along with the analytics as well.
Front row left, Mitch.
Ryan, I know you've been asked this several times throughout the season, but I wondered if you could reflect on it now. You've had a whirlwind month, really a whirlwind season for a guy your age in his first season, you know, coaching in a big-time program. And I know you have a ways to go, but have you been able, is there a time when you were like driving home or laying in bed at night and you're going, oh my God, what just happened? Have you been able to reflect on it like that?
No, I haven't even had time to think at all. I mean, this last week was the craziest week I've ever been a part of. And, you know, we have these mid-year guys coming in, and we had, you know, 4.5 days to get there. And then there's different award ceremonies and things all over the country. It was crazy. And then we only have 3 weeks to get ready for this game, really. So then when you put the recruiting into it, you have 2 weeks to play this game. So this was a week where every second mattered in recruiting, and I thought we did a good job getting out there and had to travel a lot and do a lot of stuff. But again, now it's back to focusing on Clemson and winning this game, and then again, once we get done with the season, we'll sit back and think. But there's no time for that right now.
But there must be moments when you think about yourself and what's just happened and how it's affected your family and everything. No.
Again, you know, try not to worry about that too much because it's not going to help me right now. Obviously, proud of what we've done, proud of what the staff's done. You know, we'll get together Wednesday and have signing day there and enjoy a little time right there, and I think that'll be fun. But we still have a lot of work to do because this game's on you right now. I mean, there's no time to sit back and think. Where in the past there was another week where you could prepare for this game, and I have not played in this game before, but talking to the coaches who have, I mean, this game is rushed more than it ever has been, and so again, it's all about how do we utilize these days and each day get ready for this game.
Okay, well, let's get a month.
Okay.
I tried getting Coach to buy me a corned beef sandwich in New York. He said, "No time, Jerry. Got no time." Fourth row right, Marcus.
So Ohio State has 8 national championships and probably twice as many teams that came 1 win short, and maybe a handful of those teams were maybe 1 game away from not just being champions, but like a legendary team. And then they lost a game, they just kind of another team. I wonder if that's something that you incorporate into your message with these guys.
Yeah, it will be. We haven't talked about that part of it because we hadn't been to this point yet, and we didn't want to get ourselves or too far ahead of ourselves. But that is going to be part of the message, though, that if you want to be known as one of the best of all time and be up there with the national champs, and you want to be in rare air, here we go. This is the push right here. And so, that will be part of the message. Not that really matters with our day-to-day operation. We're not going to be trying any harder or anything else like that, but we just got to do a great job of focusing, day in and day out, maximizing each day the best we can. So we're better prepared in 28.
Second row middle, Bruce.
Is Al Washington under contract? If he is, will you allow him to go to BC for a defensive coordinator position if he wants to?
I mean, if that's something that he would want to do, I'd be very, very surprised. I'd be shocked, to be honest with you. But if that's what he wanted to do, then I would support him. But I don't see that happening at all.
You were at the Heisman, Hurts, Burrow, Fields, all transfer QBs. We've chatted before about this new world you're in, but man, I mean, that's like confirmation of the new world. That how do you keep a 4 or a 5-star happy when they can look and they see 3 of the 4 guys there found a better situation?
I think it just goes to show you what the temperature of quarterback play is right now in college football, and I think especially when you look at our situation, you had Dwayne, you had Joe, and now you have Justin. It's just amazing to think that those have been really the 3 quarterbacks that have been in that room over the last 2 to 3 years. It's just amazing, and So happy that it worked out for Joe. You couldn't happen to a better person or a better family, and just awesome to see. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things I think you just have to deal with on a year-to-year basis and try to figure out the best way to manage your team. And it's not easy. You like to have 4 quarterbacks. It's almost impossible not to have 4 quarterbacks on your roster that are on scholarship because they all want to play right now. And the great thing about coming to Ohio State is you're going to get developed at a high level. And the hard thing about that is as you develop these guys, they if they can't play at Ohio State, they feel like they can play somewhere else, and so then they go on and possibly try to play somewhere else. And so that's frustrating. But at the same time, like you said, that's kind of the way it is now, and we don't like that. We want guys to be here and stay here and be here throughout their whole careers. But at the same time, I'm also understanding of what people want to do, and so we'll just keep adjusting as time goes on.
What does it say about, is it about the player, about the way quarterbacks are developed now in high school? Is it about how college offenses are? In the case of Fields and Hurts, they show up, they didn't sit here. I mean, Joe was at least at LSU for a year and played, but it's like instant results with Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts in totally new systems.
Well, I think when you look at Jalen and Joe, they're both grad transfers who had played. First off, Jalen played in national championships and played a lot of football, so that doesn't surprise me at all. Joe going down there and playing the way he did doesn't surprise me either. He's played a lot of football here and been around some really good quarterbacks at JT and learned the right way. And I think Justin's probably the anomaly where he came in and was a first-year starter and in short order got himself ready to play and played at the highest level of college football and as a sophomore. So that's a tribute to what he's done.
Last thing, did you see where ESPN ranked Urban the 46th best college football coach of all time?
I didn't see that, no.
Or you feel fortunate you got to work for the 46th best college coach?
Seems a little low. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Second row right. Kyle?
You mentioned the schedule already, how crazy last week was and everything. You have the award circuit recruiting. I think this week's also a little condensed. In the past, the time has been almost too much before a bowl game. This year it's different. How do you manage it? How difficult is it to plan when it seems like there's not too much time?
Yeah, no, it's different, but it's the same for both teams, and it's like anything else, like dealing with rain or something like that in the game. This is the situation. Now we got to deal with it, maximize it better than our opponent. That's what it comes down to. And to say it's easy, no, it's not easy. It's a lot. You talk about getting worn down and just running from day to day as hard as you can go, waking up early in the morning, going to bed late at night, and flights and everything else. And there's a lot that goes into it, but it is what it is, and that's why we have a great staff and we have a great team that we can handle it. And, good maturity on the team that we're going to go in and have a great result practice this week. We'll let them go home for a couple days, catch their breath, and then beat out in Arizona.
The players that were traveling last week, do they have like a set things that you guys want them to try to do on the road to stay in shape?
Yeah, we try to make sure that we get a good lift, good run when they get there, and then also when they come back, and just make sure we're on top of that. But really those guys, they need rest too. Coming off of a long season, so they weren't gone long enough that it made a big difference.
Over here to the right, Don?
Coach, as you look at Clemson, what jumps out on their defense and how good are these guys?
Yeah, I think they're really good. I think they have a lot of skill, a lot of speed. Simmons is the guy inside that kind of makes everything go, and they do a great job of changing up looks. 3 down, 4 down, a lot of pressure. Try to get you off schedule, and historically over the last decade or more, Brent Venables has been one of the best defense coordinators in the country, and they continue to be really good on defense. And there's a lot of good players, a lot of good talent over there. The back end's as good as we'll see. They have a lot of skill.
It's been a grind to get to this point.